Hey, all you Arizona lovers. This is the Finding Arizona podcast, episode number 361. I'm your host, Jose. Thank you so much for joining us visually and in audio format. I am going to just jump right into it. Today's episode is quite of a unique one for what we've done in the past, but it is a nonprofit that's focusing on safety for our loved ones. So it's called Oakley'S Path. I want to encourage you guys to listen to this one all the way through, as hard as it is to read or even hear this one. It is one of those ones that I feel very fondly of because it is a nonprofit on top of that, but it also talks about the things that we don't really communicate, which is safety around the household during times where things are unexpected. So I encourage you guys to check out the links below that we always put in the bio, and always follow us at findingarizonapodcast.com and follow us on social media at Finding Arizona Podcast. We want to hear from you. Tell us who you wanted next, and we'll try and make that happen. On top of which, if you want to become a super fan, there's a vlog, there's a blog, there's everything in between at our website. But all in all, we just want to encourage you guys to just stay connected with us. I've been working very hard on making sure that these come together along with my wife, Brittany. We have been really trying our best to make sure that everything that comes out of our department or our brand, whatever you want to call this, we want to encourage you guys to stay with us. So we're trying to make sure that everything is seamless, everything looks the same, and everything is copacetic. That being said, we have some really great guests coming down the line. We have a lot of great guests that we have lined up, a lot of great locals. So stay with us, stay in touch with us, keep us in mind for the future. If you have something that you want to share with us, findingarizonapodcast@gmail.com is where you'll send an email, and we'll hopefully get back to you as soon as possible. That being said, let's just jump right into this episode number 361 with Oakley's Path. We will catch you on the next one. Welcome back, everybody, to the Finding Arizona podcast. I'm your host, Jose. As always, we bring in fantastic guests, and this week we have Julie. And Julie, I'm going to let you tell everyone about this wonderful, it's a nonprofit, another reason why we're having Julie in today. So Julie, go right ahead.
Tell my story?
Introduce the name of the nonprofit.
Our nonprofit is Oakley'S Oath. And how it started was about 2 years ago. We had some contractors at our house, a roofer, and didn't tell us that they were going to put something on our pool at the time.
Oh, okay.
Which I just thought they were working on our roof. Oh. And I let my dogs out all the time to go potty. They never were interested in the pool. And that one day when I let them out, take responsibility for letting them out, but I let them out, and I guess maybe the plastic attracted Oakley's eyes, and he ended up falling in the pool.
Yes.
And I jumped in to get him with clothes, purse, phone, everything. Dragged him out of the pool, rushed him to the vet. I knew it was too late, but I just was like, anyway. So, I guess what happened was, I just think, so I guess the next day, I even thought, I'm like, this cannot happen to another family.
Yes.
We have to do something. And I even thought of Oakley's Oath immediately. It kind of reminds me of Amber Alert.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's not the same thing, but it's turning my pain into a purpose.
Absolutely.
So I'm just like, this can't happen to another family. And I believe communication would have saved his life.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you there. I think one of the few things that we can do is actually the hardest thing to do for a lot of us is communication on a one-to-one level about certain aspects that we want done, because it is difficult to be that person, be like, I really want this, and I really want you to be aware of this. And sometimes it's an oversight. Sometimes it is just an oversight of like, oh man, I forgot to say this to them. So I think what we have here is wonderful, that, like the words you put it, is putting purpose to your pain, and it's wonderful that you're here today. So thank you for giving us a little bit of overview on how this all came to be. Now, I would love to kind of turn to more of a positive note, and I would love to kind of ask you a little bit more of what happened after, and where that accomplishment of getting the actual name and stuff like that, and maybe the conversation you had with your husband and all this pain and things like that. I'd love to just pick apart what happened after the incident and just kind of moving up to actually creating the nonprofit.
So what happened, like I said, I just want to share that Oakley was named after Oakley's sunglasses.
Oh, nice.
Because my husband's an eye doctor.
Oh, very cool.
So, yeah. And just to
Nice.
share, he did have a brother named Specs for glasses as well. So we had Oakley and Specs.
Oakley and Specs. That sounds so great.
And we have Panda now. But focusing on Oakley. So what happened was, like I said, it was on my watch,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this can never happen. And what happens a lot of times is how many times we had contractors at our house. I've had so many contractors.
Yeah.
I considered myself a helicopter mom / dog mom, and I missed it. And it was communication. Like the example I would give is, like you were saying, is about podcasts. I don't know about podcasts, so you would have to tell me more.
Yeah.
I would think the expert, like the roofer, just needs to explain to me the steps, like, do you have pets? Actually, I like to say, do you have kids? Do you have pets? This is going to be happening when we're at your house.
Yes.
And my big mission was also to say, we care about keeping your family safe first, and we want to do a good job.
Yes.
But family first is our goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is what we're doing. We're going to be opening doors, closing doors. We're going to leave for lunch. We're going to leave stuff around. There's going to be there's going to be noises, loud noises. And of course, it's your responsibility to keep your family safe. But this is the information you have to keep your family safe.
Absolutely.
I feel like when people come to your house, including guests, your home becomes a hazard because the things you normally do.
The routines of life, yes, is just interrupted.
So to continue to answer your question exactly, so what I did was, I'm thinking, of course, I have no idea how to run a nonprofit. I know I needed to run one, but I didn't know how.
Yes.
And luckily, I'm the kind of person that sometimes I know I don't have all the answers, and I know I needed to. I'm grateful that you guys had me on this podcast because I know it takes a village, and I can't do this myself.
Absolutely.
And so I just found people. Like, I have a neighbor that was a PR person. She quickly wrote me up some tips just to get started.
Yeah.
I was also told, do things messy until you have it straight.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I threw out Oakley's Oath like spaghetti. And so that started. And then, I just know people in different areas. I have a realtor friend who said, oh my gosh, we have, I feel your pain. When I've opened houses, there's cats and dogs there, and I'm worried that they're going to get out.
Yeah.
So she said, this is such a common problem to contractors, realtors, etc., that would have these kind of problems. So we have to communicate this, and it's just, I think it's something that people don't communicate. I think it's put under the rug.
Yeah.
I was telling someone the story recently, and they said, oh, I had an exterminator come to my house. I told them to close the gate. They didn't. My dog ran in the middle of the street and got run over by a vehicle. So things happen all the time.
Absolutely.
And I just believe, obviously, nothing's preventable, but with communication, things are more preventable.
Yeah.
And this was the area that I was chosen to turn my pain into purpose.
Absolutely.
And so with those steps, okay, so that we started Spaghetti Wise. I also want to give a plug to ASU.
Yay.
Yes.
Of course. I'm
Local?
a graduate.
Oh, you
myself.
are?
Yes.
Okay, 2 graduate. Oh,
No, I'm not. I'm doing two. I'm doing the forks up.
Forks
Is that
up.
what we do?
Yeah.
Forks up. Yeah,
Forks
she's
up,
got
you
it.
got
I
it.
thought you too.
No.
My dad was a graduate from there. My daughter was a graduate from there.
Nice.
I'm not going to say where I was a graduate.
No, it's okay. We won't. She's a fan, so she's from San Diego.
Okay,
That's
okay,
why.
okay.
So she's a fan of the U of A. That's
Okay.
fine. That's fine.
But I want to share.
Yes, of course.
I'm not going to, I don't want to alienate any of the schools, I guess, but I will say that ASU does have a special place in my heart.
Yes.
Because they have in their Walter Cronkite School, a public relations lab.
Nice.
And I think they call it a digital audience lab, like their social media.
Yeah, of course.
And they took us on as a client for the spring semester, last spring.
That is so incredible.
Yeah.
Shout out to my alma mater.
Yeah, so special place in my heart. And they helped us with our materials. They helped us with our Facebook. They helped us with our message.
That's so incredible.
With our colors. I mean, so many things. like all my top, they left us with a beautiful amount of information to go a step higher. We did all the foundation work, and I am indebted for them for that beautiful opportunity.
That's really great that you had the opportunity to go do that. Now, may I ask how you found, or like how that like came across? Did you find them again, or did they find you?
What happened was, as my dad likes to say, everything's a weave.
Yeah.
And I was in a sorority, and I'm actually an advisor for the ASU one now.
Nice.
So one of my fellow advisors / sorority sister said, she was in PR, and I said, hey, can you help me? Whatever. She goes, why don't you talk to the ASU PR lab? I'm like, I don't know anything about that. The rest is history, and they are fabulous. Fabulous.
Super great to hear.
And so that's over, so I have to keep things going. So now I found Nicole and all that stuff, and the rest is history there. But long story how I found her and all the connections in the small world.
Yeah,
my PR person. So give her.
Yes,
anyway.
and we will after this.
Yes.
Because I like to do the plugs at the end.
Oh yeah.
But it's so great that you are so open about this and so incredible, gracious to give the other people who have helped you come this way to just really share your story. That's really great. And I'll ask you this now: where you are at with Oakley's, I just want to ask what are the programs? What are some of the things that you guys do to help instill that information and keep it going?
Well, right now we have on our website, oakley'soath.com, we have our tips, our safety tips.
Yes.
Safety tips, yes. And we have, if someone wants to be a partner, if someone wants to donate, if they want just tips, we have our stories on there. We're going to have events on there. So people can find us and find out what we have going on.
Yeah.
And you asked me also.
Oh, no. I was just like, how do you bring that information out like to the different programs? Do you go to schools, or are you starting to build that kind of a network for yourself?
What we're trying to do is I'm trying to reach out to all the homeowners for sure. And also contractors, like associations we're trying to work with. We're partnering with some companies.
That's awesome.
Such as Pet Market.
Yes, of course.
Which is another local company.
Yes.
And just trying to get our word out. We would love a bill passed at some time to have Oakley's Oath and make sure we are all Oakley's Oath certified.
Yes.
And we know how to keep your house safe when contractors or anyone comes to your home.
Yes.
So that is my goal.
Yeah.
Partnering with pool companies.
Beautiful.
Yeah, roofers and associations, and it's endless.
Yeah.
And I'll also take suggestions as well. We're also working to try to get funding, because right now I'm funding this, which it's my baby, so I'm happy to do that. But in order to get our message out, we need help.
Everyone needs help.
I need help. Yeah,
Yes.
I won't be too proud. And Arizona doesn't all know. I want Oakley's Oath to be a household name.
Absolutely. You're doing incredible work, first off, because the story itself is just, it's so common but yet so swept under the rug, as far as some people just don't really want to speak about death, and that's kind of hard for them. But it's also a loss of a friend, a really close family friend, and that may be hard as well for some people to share that kind of thing. So I know for myself, I've only had probably a handful of dogs kind of pass away on me because of my age, just having them sporadically throughout my life. But one of the things that really was traumatic for me was losing a dog and seeing its final breath in front of my own eyes, and just kind of like, oh my gosh, like that's the hardest thing for me to say that I saw and witnessed with my own two eyes is that. But through that, I think, again, I'm just very more passionate and compassionate to my animals, knowing that, their life being so short is so precious every single day. So as you can see, you've experienced my own dog right now, and
yes.
she's kind of radiates love and kind of radiates calmness. So that's kind of our bond together, is that being able to, give her love and she gives me love back. Unconditional, very much unconditional.
And I will tell you, I believe animals, dogs, cats, whatever your animal of choice is, they save lives. They make lives brighter. Absolutely. Having a dog in the home is such a warm feeling during COVID, during whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll get into that. Yeah, actually.
They are lifesavers, and they've saved our family. So I can't even say, I mean, we do not have them long enough. And I was saying kind of what you were saying, kind of, it reminded me of, I said to my husband, I said, it's so painful to lose an animal. Would we want to go through this again? And we decided that the joy they bring outweighs the pain, even though the pain is excruciing.
Yeah.
But to have a dog in your life, we'd rather have an animal in our life than not, and deal with the shortness of their life than not have an animal.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people too, at that certain point in life where you're just, I've heard this, it extends you a little bit further because of the, just the love, unconditional love that you receive. It's just, that fulfills your, psychology or joy or life, whatever it may be. It's like, I've heard the statistic of like, it brings you a longer term happiness and joy out of having an animal or a pet in your household. So I'd love to talk, because you pointed out about the COVID portion of it. And we had this discussion on just kind of like back and forth of having an animal in your household. And I want to know for you, just because we asked this of everyone through that experience of COVID, what did you go through? What did you have to do to kind of keep Oakley's Oath going through that period, and then also what you experienced on a personal level through having, maybe there was COVID that you just stayed home and with your animals and things like that. Give us the insight through that.
Yes, Oakley passed away in 21.
Okay, so
we were into COVID, but before, when you're home a lot, there is a depressing factor, as we all know, and our family, a lot of times we just spend time hugging the dogs and cuddling the dogs, and they gave us peace. Yeah. And the dogs, I think they loved when we were around, and I think it helped our psyches and our mental health. Yeah. Huge. Yes. And a lot of people got dogs during that time.
Yes, I remember.
And a lot of people gave their dogs up when they went back to work. Yeah. Which I would never do. Yeah. But the joy that they bring, I think that they helped us through COVID.
Absolutely.
They've helped our family through challenges, through peaks and valleys of life. I have a daughter who has a health condition. And we actually got our third dog, Panda, as kind of a therapy dog for her. A pretend therapy dog. And it ended up, I don't know that he really fit that bill for her, but she ended up really attaching to Specs, our other dog that was Oakley's litter mate. But Panda ended up being a therapy dog, so we would take him places and brighten other people's lives.
That's wonderful.
But just with COVID, everything had to stop. So they just brightened our lives. And when they I can't stress how much a crazy dog mom I am and how much a crazy dog family we are. And I am so grateful for them. And they just mean so much. And like you said, the unconditional love. And I think they help us live longer and live healthier lives and just be more compassionate and open to have to care for someone else. And important, I call them people, but I say dogs are people too. Cats are people too.
Sure.
But to me, they're family members, and we owe it to them. They're defenseless family members, and we have to do our best to love.
Really big key about it. It's like they are defenseless, and even in particular some of the smaller breeds and things like that. You just anything. It's like I've heard stories like where frozen turkeys fall out of the freezer and then really hurt the back of the smaller dog breeds and things like that. That's the kind of things that we have to really be aware of some of the times with some of the different animals that we do bring, is they bring in different safety issues, or again, it's you go even to humans for your baby, for our child, as soon as we realize we don't have all the safety bits that are on the outlets, or even I went and we spent a whole weekend drilling, making sure all of it, and really, in all honesty, we should have been doing that for the animals as well, making sure that their safety, and we're very cautious about what kind of repellents we use, what kind of things that we use around the house, not only for the animals, for the humans, just us in general, just what we experience and breathe in and things like that. So it's like we're very attentive because we do have so many animals here and small humans here in our home. But we, again, having that communication to move forward past just our home with our neighbors, with, our community, our actual people day to day that we see day in and day out, just having those small safety protocols in our lives will make a huge difference, not only for the animals, the unprotected, but us as the provider and servicer.
Yeah, and you had a really good point about the turkey. Turkey's probably around Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
Everyone's busy.
Yeah.
And things happen. People probably don't normally have turkeys in their freezer.
Exactly.
And maybe they were stuffing more things.
Yeah.
And so just things happen in your life that you don't prepare for and aren't used to.
Yeah.
And so just kind of being aware and is key.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
again, can't catch everything, but at least if we're
this, I like to think of it as like this. We as humans go, we don't. Okay, we as humans have these protocols that we're taught for our jobs, public safety, having those meetings of like, if you are a professional who wants to learn how to do the Heimlich or even how to help someone give air back into the flow, we have meetings that we can go to learn these things once a year or, as a continual learning process. I think as we get older, sometimes we forget or we try and, I could go longer without having to go back to that class. But it's detrimental almost like to wait a little bit longer. Same thing with your license. We all go get our license updated. Go take a safety class. Go out and, people want to be outdoors now or be out in the world and not be afraid of the COVID anymore. And just, I think that's something that we can all take a little bit page out of when we were a little bit more patient, a little bit more understanding, and a little bit more open to public safety, public health. Do that with your own home. Make the priority to, save your family, have a fire route outside, where to, that's the thing I was learning with my son is fire safety. And so, it's something that we learned is just, that as simple as stop, drop, and roll is just, taught in public school. So a continual learning program to help not only the most unprotected of our homes is a continual thing that I think should be done with ourselves. Have a family meeting about it.
Yeah, and like you said, you don't think about it. We don't think like someone might be choking in my house. My dog might have gotten to something. My kid might have gotten to something. And then if I knew the Heimlich maneuver, that would be helpful. So if I took a little time to do that kind of stuff that we don't feel like doing because we never know if it's going to happen, but how great to have that skill.
Yeah.
And also just keeping our house safe. Like now when I have contractors at my home, I am very aware. I've got my one dog Panda and I'm very aware like someone in the backyard, he likes to bark and he's got a little safety doggy door that he goes out, but I close that when they're there.
Yeah.
And doors open. We had a family birthday party for my parents, a surprise party. People kept coming in our house. And I had my one dog, believe me, he was by my side. I was holding him the whole time just to make sure he was safe because the second I didn't see him, I'm like,
Yep. Now, I imagine just after what you've been through, you're very attached and very much more protective in those moments of unregularity.
Yes. And you can see now that I know and my eyes are more wide open, I can see all these things that go on. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, I'm like, oh, they left the door open. Oh, they're putting chemicals on my, in my house or whatever. So just there's so many things you can see. And I think if we all pass on the word, I want to share a special story that we actually know that we saved a dog's life.
Oh, wow.
They had the similar situation. I put something on Nextdoor, sloppy, like I said, my spaghetti way to do it.
There you go.
And I said, please watch your dog. Here's our tips, kids. And again, I do say kids first and animals because it happens to anyone.
Yeah.
And
we're talking about like unprotected.
Unprotected. We're trying. Our big theme, our tagline is keeping families safe when contractors are in your home. Mm-hmm. So what happened was I did put something on Nextdoor, and this lady, Kona's mom, Kona with a K, reached out to me, like probably Kona Coffee, reached out to me and said, oh my gosh, we had a contractor at our house and we were extra vigilant.
Yes.
And with your tips, my dog was drowning. I jumped in and saved my dog.
Wow. Good for you.
So Kona's on our website.
Yes.
And I know that we've saved more lives. I know many people told me with your safety tips, I never would have thought of these things. So I know it's helping people, but we helped one person. So to me, that I know of, and I'm grateful for them.
Bless you for that too, because, in all honesty, it's like you said, anything is possible. Anything could happen in those moments of irregularity, and you managed to save one dog, and that's more than anyone could possibly ask from what your goal was. It's like that one life was truly saved, and so I can definitely atone to that, like empathize too. Yeah. It's like wow, that's a scary moment to like your dog, because our dog isn't much of a swimmer either. She doesn't enjoy swimming, so we definitely, like, if she were in a pool and like I knew that she was in like in the pool, like I'd jump in too, because she doesn't like to be in the pool. So she's like, let's go. And like, if she's having difficulties getting out of the pool, I know that for sure, because I can see it with my own two eyes. And so, those scary moments really do come fast. And so if you're not prepared to jump fully in, it's just, it just goes by so fast.
And she said something like, it was cute. I kind of forgot, but she goes, we are so sorry for Oakley, but Kona thanks you for saving our life.
Oh, that's a beautiful.
Something like that. Yeah, it was beautiful, and I'm grateful.
Absolutely.
Ironically, I said, today is Oakley's birthday. Yes. He would have been 17.
Wow, that would have been. Oh my gosh.
So he was almost 15, which was amazing, and he had health conditions, but he deserved a better end.
Yeah. Less scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's living forever.
Yes, He's living forever, and we have all these memories that remind him. Absolutely. We have pictures of dogs in our house. Where, should I say it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's talk a little bit about our proclamation that you were able to receive from the city of Scottsdale, that it will honor Oakley for a very long time.
Yes, we are grateful for the city of Scottsdale for proclamating Oakley's Oath Day on April 14th. And every year.
Yes.
So in the city of Scottsdale, it's going to be Oakley's Oath Day.
Nice.
And our goal is we'd like to be in other cities as well.
Absolutely.
But we started with Scottsdale because Scottsdale was where our situation happened. Mm-hmm. I'm a native of Arizona.
Awesome.
In
I did
Phoenix.
not know that.
I was born at St. Joseph's Hospital, for anyone older.
Same as me.
And same with our son.
Same with our son as well. So we keep it in the. This is all just really great.
Yeah. So it was around when I was born, even.
Well, it is. I think it is the oldest hospital in Phoenix. Yeah. So that's definitely something to be said about that hospital. But again, I really do appreciate you sharing this, because this is taking it to another level. Like, this is something concrete, something that will forever be in honor of something that you put together as well, with, unfortunately, a horrible tragedy from Oakley. But again, I think, like you said, purpose with your pain. This is truly something like a silver lining in your pain. So if we can just, like, again, I just want to say, attest to all the hard work that you put together.
Thank you.
And just honor you in that moment, because again, for Oakley to have a tragic ending but be honored in this way is truly amazing. And I congratulate you for what you've done. And I hope that it continues forward. And one of the things that we always ask everyone who comes through our doors is, can you give our fans, the listeners, a goal of yours that you hope to just achieve, or even have in mind for this business, this whatever? Like, we have a lot of businesses and nonprofits, so I always say whatever, but it means like whatever category you fall under. But I would love to understand what goals are for Oakley's Oath.
Well, a couple goals would be, like I said, I'd like it to be a household name. We'd like it in Arizona to be household. I'd like to go national with it. Yeah. I want it to be on the Today Show and People Magazine.
It's important.
National. It's also international.
Yes.
Because this is a problem for everyone. So, baby steps. I'm just grateful how it's going in such a short period of time. Mm-hmm. And I know that it will get bigger, and the only reason I want it to get bigger is I want to save lives. That's it. I just want to save lives. Yeah. And we'd like to, again, have like a bill passed, and just a lot of partners. We'd like partners. We have a few now that are working with us, just that we're all, and I also like to help people out too, so I'm happy to pass on people's messages too. They pass on our messages. It takes a village. Yeah. And I'm just grateful for all the support that we've gotten. And like I said, just saving lives is my goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd like to save another life for sure that we know of and keep going.
Absolutely. So thank you again, Julie, for your time, your patience, your aptitude to making things happen is truly amazing, and it's truly meaningful for us to have you in our doors. I would love to spend this last couple of moments just pitching you, because I would love to hear where we again give our audience who don't really know but like want to find you and help you out, your email address or any website or any events that you might be going to in the future.
Thank you. Yes, Oakley's Oath website has all our information. We are going to have an event in July, like July 8th is an event coming up. We're also planning on having, more events are going to come up, so I would definitely look at our website. We're going to have it all in there. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. And let's see. Okay, so how you can find me is definitely on our website.
Okay, awesome.
And it has our information. Oakleys.oath.com is our email.
Awesome.
And we need volunteers. We need people that want to just support Oakley's Oath. We will take, partnering with Oakley's Oath. And I just think that, I just love that. Arizona has a special place in my heart. Like I told you, I'm definitely an Arizona girl. I lived in D.C. for a little bit, and it was nice, but you could take the girl out of Arizona, but you can't take the Arizona out of the girl, so hence I'm back. And so this place has a special place in my heart, and like I said, I was born here. Oakley had his tragedy here. My family's here, not all in that order, but I just want to make a difference.
Absolutely.
And
I think you are.
And thank you. And like I said, everything's going to be we're going to have more things going on. We're hoping to have a yearly event for Oakley's Oath.
Nice. Okay.
And we're just going to be popping up all over. So definitely look at our Facebook page.
Beautiful. Yeah. And with that, we do have a little outro for ourselves. You guys can hear us at findingarizonapodcast.com. We make it easy for everyone to find us on social media, so all of our stuff is under Finding Arizona Podcast. Last but not least, we always say kisses, hugs, and belly rubs to our four-legged friends. That's our little outro. And I thank you so much.
Nicole.
And thank you to Nicole Maiden, who is our special person of connection.
That connected us.
Yes, your PR girl. She's so great. She's not with us right now. She usually is with everyone, but we love her. And that'll conclude this episode with Oakley's Oath, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.